The cold wind of early morning brushed across the quiet street as Marcus Hale stood outside his apartment building, hands in his pockets, heart thumping like a drum. To any stranger passing by, he looked ordinary, just another young man waiting for the world to make sense. But inside, Marcus was fighting a silent war. Fear had followed him his entire life. Fear of failing, fear of trying, fear of judgment, fear of being seen as weak, fear of disappointing himself again. He always wondered how people moved with confidence, how they spoke boldly, acted boldly, lived boldly. Marcus lived small, and he hated it. But a single night changed everything. 2 weeks earlier, Marcus was sitting alone in a cafe, staring at a job rejection email. "We regret to inform you." He had lost count of how many times he read that line over the past year. His chest tightened, his eyes stung. He closed the laptop and whispered to himself, "Why am I always scared to take the next step?" He remembered his high school teacher once saying, "Fear is imaginary, but regret is real." That sentence echoed in his head like thunder. Marcus looked around the cafe, people laughing, talking, living, and something inside him snapped. "I'm tired," he whispered. "I'm tired of living scared." It wasn't anger toward the world, it was anger toward himself. For the first time in years, Marcus felt a spark. The next morning, he wrote one simple sentence on a sticky note: "Do something today that scares you." He placed it on his mirror. It became his new rule. Day 1, he called a company he was afraid to follow up with. Day 2, he joined a local public speaking group, even though he almost threw up outside the building. Day 3, he signed up for a 5K run, even though he hadn't exercised in years. Every day his heart raced, his palms sweated, and fear whispered, "What if you can't do this?" But Marcus answered with something new. "Watch me." For the first time in his life, Marcus didn't wait for confidence. He acted before confidence, and something shocking happened. Fear didn't disappear, but it started losing power. The journey was not smooth. One evening during a public speaking session, he froze mid-sentence. His voice cracked, his throat closed. People stared. He felt the old Marcus pulling him back. "See, this is why you don't try. Sit down, stay small." But Marcus stood tall, took a deep breath, and continued. He finished the speech. Not perfectly, not smoothly, but he finished. The room clapped. For the first time, he felt something stronger than fear: pride. Weeks passed. Marcus kept leveling up. He started waking up early. He hit the gym regularly. He took courses to develop his skills. He began applying for better jobs instead of safe ones. He surrounded himself with ambitious people who pushed him forward. He also began journaling every night. On the first page, he wrote, "Fear controls you only if you obey it." That became his truth. Small victories started stacking like bricks, building a version of Marcus he never thought he could become. But fear doesn't leave quietly. One afternoon, Marcus received an interview call from a major tech firm. It was the biggest opportunity of his life, and suddenly, fear returned stronger than ever. What if you fail in front of them? What if you embarrass yourself? What if you're not good enough? His hands shook, his chest tightened. For a moment, he felt like the old Marcus, but then he caught his reflection in a car window. He didn't see the scared version of himself. He saw the man who joined public speaking, the man who completed his 5K run, the man who took risks every single day, the man who kept showing up even when terrified. He whispered, "I'm not fearless, but I'm brave." The morning of the interview, he woke up early and stared at the sticky note on his mirror. "Do something today that scares you." He smiled. He put on his best shirt, took a deep breath, and walked into the building with steady steps. During the interview, he didn't pretend to be perfect. He didn't fake confidence. He spoke honestly about his journey, his fears, and how he overcame them. The interviewers listened closely as he said, "Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to move even when fear is screaming at you to stop." One of them smiled and replied, "That's exactly the mindset we want here." A few days later, Marcus received an email. He hesitated before opening it. His heart was pounding, just like the night when he got rejected in the cafe. But when he clicked the message, a smile spread across his face. "We are excited to offer you the position." He didn't scream. He didn't jump. He simply closed his eyes and whispered, "I did it." Not because he got the job, but because he defeated the version of himself who always ran from fear. Months passed. Marcus became known at his workplace as the guy who took bold actions. He volunteered for tough projects. He spoke confidently in meetings. He motivated new employees. He continued challenging himself outside of work. Fear still appeared, but it no longer controlled him. He had transformed from overthinking to execution, from timid to courageous, from fearful to fearless. Marcus's journey teaches something priceless. You don't become fearless by avoiding fear. You become fearless by walking through fear. Every action you take despite being afraid is a victory. Every uncomfortable step is progress. Every small win is transformation. Fear will always exist, but courage can grow bigger. And sometimes all it takes is a small whisper to yourself. Do the thing anyway.